welcome to Africa Blockchain Week, Rue Patel. Rue Patel is the co-founder and chair of my Tokenized Capital.
Hello, thank you again for introduction. Once again, my name is Rue Patel. I'm the co-founder and chairman of my Tokenized Capital. I'm very passionate about many subjects in my 4 decades, 4 decades of business. And with all that experience, I have seen many changes. I've seen 3 crises. And what I really feel strongly about is why what is happening right now in the whole decentralized and blockchain space is why decentralization is so beneficial for the growth of an equality model for the community, because it cannot be sustained. A little bit of background why. I have a mission in life to make an impact on 1 billion people's life for the last 10 years. That's my mantra. And how do I do that is all I focus on. So my background is I was born and raised in Kenya. My father was born and raised there as well. So 2nd generation, however, with Indian origin as well. And I see a lot of people being absolutely taken advantage of in those countries and other parts, obviously, of South America, Asia, various other parts of the world. With that said and done, the main thing when I was involved right at the beginning of the mobile phone technology developments, the laptops, the PCs, and the major one, the .com and the Java movement, where I was at Sun Microsystems right in the beginning, in the early to mid 90s, well before Facebook, well before Google, eBay's, Amazon's, all these people existed. And when we created that mission and vision of how to make the world almost flat, we used to call it the network is the computer, i.e. if you are connected, then anything is possible to transact. What I really feel strongly about is that model is not deployed in a fair and equitable manner. So with that said, let me just play you this video. So it's all about be the change. It's all about how everyone can actually be the coin. That's my mantra. So why should you share your IP? Why should you have no benefit when we, the product, are watching all these videos on YouTube or posting things on Facebook, putting likes, comments, and all this? And why are we not getting a share of those profits? Because we are the products that all these tech companies are taking advantage for. It needs to stop. For the last 2 years, that's been my mission, how to make a decentralized platform to absolutely make it fair in what I call my social capitalism model, okay? Let's go back a little bit, okay? In my last 25 years of experience, 35 years of experience, but this is what I've seen the last 25 years. The internet and the dot-com era, I've seen that crash. The financial leveraging bubble, I've seen that crash. The whole of the blockchain, Bitcoin, altcoins, the crash, the recovery, all of that shaking up, I have seen it, and what's happening in the markets again of late. I have seen all that ICOs, STOs, IEOs, all of that crash too. Now, there is a movement of centralized against decentralized and DeFi against CeFi, and the whole tokenization side of the market, where there is a lot of opportunity if deployed and shared in an equitable manner. What do I mean by that? There are lots of pros and cons. However, what is really evolving is, you've seen it in this whole decentralization model, where the powerhouse, the decision making, the governance, the sharing of profit, the sharing of equity, the management is being decentralized. The government could take some leaf out of that book too, in trying to make it more engaging with the public. But let's address what's in our control, which is all these platforms that are out there. So the more the middleman is cut out in some of these transactional based services that we see out there, the better it is. If we just look at what's happening in the DeFi space, where a person can lend money to another person using smart contracts. Classic case. The same thing with any form of engagement of contractors, jobs, the whole of the Bitcoin architecture, where works are proven, proof of work or a proof of stake. All these are smart contracts that you hear about. This is in a decentralized model, in a proper governance-based infrastructure, programmed in the blockchain, that not anybody can break because someone has a higher power in a new board, for example, a CEO, CFO, CMO, whoever it is. So there are advantages of this, meaning no one can come in and undermine the community and the deployment of the technology. I call that a PFI model. That's where I see it, meaning a people or a power to the people and a people to people type of transactional infrastructure. So in that P5, people to people type of transaction model, what I see is a lot of this middleman, what I call retail banks and several other infrastructures and suppliers and service providers will die. I said that 5 years ago, 50% will go within 10 years. I say it again, 50% will go within 5 years. So it is already happening. Why is it happening? Think about it. Us, the client, we put our money into the banking infrastructure. They loan it to someone who wants money. They do all sorts of financial leveraging through to all sorts of additional fees. Hence the reason why they have tens of thousands of people with big glass houses getting paid tens of millions in salaries at the senior levels. Why? It's our money. Someone wants to borrow it. There are agreements, there is collateral, there are contracts. What DeFi is doing is exactly disrupting that model. So person-to-person loan, finances, leverage, stakes for getting additional loans or trading, things like that. People have collateral, they can do it directly. So those models are happening. The next thing that's happening is the world is beginning to accept that digital currency and blockchain-based cryptocurrencies are here to stay. We've seen recent movements, especially with some of the great work that my friend Brock Pierce is doing with El Salvador and various other places, which we've been talking on numerous occasions, including the last Dubai event, of how one at a time we can help this move forward. So China with the CBDCs, UK, Germany, France, there are so many countries already looking at that. There's at least 15 banks who are also adopting this. So this gives threat to the old infrastructures of the Visa, the MasterCards, the SWIFT, and all of these organizations where almost $7 trillion a day is transacted through. And at a high cost, slow speed, and lots of middlemen. Why is it necessary when there are so many technologies out there, including, dare I say, some of the latest blockchain and cryptocurrency based infrastructures that can do remittances cross borders in a flash of a second at a 0.003 or 4 cents? Numerous solutions already out there. All these currencies as well that are on exchanges, which again take a lot of money. And why do you need so many people and so many high costs when it is all electronic and can be done so fast? So decentralization of some of these makes it faster, giving it the governance, giving it the smart contracts. I'm not saying banks are not needed. Banks are needed, but we need banking more than we need banks. Okay, we need banking more than we need banks. So there are numerous case studies and user case studies now evolving in the world where you've got decentralized finance in loans, in insurance, in various types of banking solutions, remittances, mortgages, refinancing, simple neo-style banking, digital banking, where there is no branches, several examples of this. Coupled with that, there are several examples of yield farming or staking and staking pools and liquidity pools already happening. These are all decentralized, or majority are decentralized organizations providing this service where someone puts their digital currency into the custody of the exchange or the DeFi supplier, or they can hold it and stake their money, earning a higher return than any bank on this planet. So typically to get 6 to 30% is kind of like almost a norm nowadays, okay, in a secure manner through smart contracts. There's always a risk. This is not financial advice, but there's always a risk. The same way as how banks have gone bankrupt and lost people's money. So that whole staking and farming and rewards based credits back to the user, cutting all that middleman, is happening now. So that infrastructure of peer-to-peer is a decentralized example of how everyone can benefit. I take it a step further. So my vision is, imagine all the people now on all these social medias where we do not get that money. So that social capitalism model needs to be disrupted, because humanity cannot be sustained. We cannot have the few big tech suppliers, few big major banks controlling the majority of the wealth. So what is happening now is the creators, artists, all these people are putting their own content, be it music, be it piece of art, be it text, whatever content they have, video clips, all of this in a decentralized platform and getting money from it. They could be auctioning it, they could be selling it directly through the marketplace, and various other infrastructures exist. So what we have done is taken the social media style of things and said, let's make everybody be able to put their asset onto the platform. I don't like the word NFT. It could be any asset, which is then tokenized, minted. We shard it, put it into fractions. I think the world is going to go into fractionalized NFTs or fractionalized tokens, because not everybody can afford to buy or invest in these NFT products. I want to make it available to even the smaller person in Africa, India, South America, Asia, wherever they are, even for participating to get a slice of that action. What do I mean by that? We are creating this ecosystem which is already live, which is already on a test net. I'm not launching it yet. And we got an award for it at the recent Dubai AIBC Summit. Why did we get that best tokenization of asset platform? Because 80% of all revenues, be it from adverts, sales of any token, sales of any NFT product, sales of any form of product or service through that platform is shared with the community. Imagine the day when YouTube, Amazon, all these people share 80%, Facebook's, Google's being the classic, 80% of it shared out to the world. That's where I see the world going. That's what we are doing, because if it doesn't happen, we cannot sustain humanity. Hence why I call it my social capitalism model. So incentivizing all those stakeholders on our platform makes them want to do more. So if you are Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, whoever you are, instead of going to the traditional marketplace platforms, why not put it on a social media place? Because it makes you connect to your audience. It makes you reach out to them, the people who've made you rich and famous. Share some of them with them, especially the ad revenues that go through it. The next thing I would say in my vision that's very important is the smaller guys, even for liking and sharing, that is tokenized. And we share that revenue with even them. So even $1 or $2 of earning feeds people. And that's how it should be shared. Same with the charity. So eventually I see our whole organization even being in a DAO scenario, meaning we don't manage it. It should be managed by governance through the owners. That's the vision. So with that said, what I would like to finalize on is, please, we may be doing this. However, reach out, mytokenized.capital. If anyone wants to collaborate, anybody wants to reach out, I'd love to have you on board on this journey, be it a small investor, medium investor, an artist, or simply a supporter who has additional synergetical products. Look forward to hearing your comments very soon. Thank you.